What's more important, grace or truth? 6 or 7? What does Delulu mean? Check it out on EDAB.
Welcome back to Every Day's a Bonus, and we are so glad you're joining us again. And we've had a lot of different topics and stuff. I want to start today just being, this is going to be about being culturally relevant, but dealing with reality of where we are. And I was reading, a buddy of mine, Mike Woodruff, puts out a Friday update. And if you want just a really good cultural touch, go find that. It's the Friday update, Mike Woodruff. And he does everything from quotes to people on the street to different things. I'll give you one of my favorite. He does a word of the week each week. Mm-hmm. Now, how would you pronounce the word G-I-G-I-L? How would you pronounce that?
G-I-G-I-L.
Is it giggle or giggle?
Giggle.
Giggle. It's kind of, I don't know. He didn't do the pronunciations,
but it's not giggle. It can't be giggle.
It's giggle.
Jiggle?
But it's in that but anyway, it's not a word, but now it is. And a lot of these words are now becoming in the dictionary, but it's one of these cultural words that pop up. Do you know what the word means?
Oh, no.
It is an overwhelming urge to squeeze something that is cute or adorable. Like, okay, that was creepy. Thank you for thinking of cute or adorable.
Save that for the Halloween episode.
And then the other one, I thought this one is probably very, very apropos, is D-U-D-U-L.
Duddle. Doodle.
D-U-D-U-L? Doodle.
Doodle. Duddle.
Doodle. I keep saying the same thing. You're guessing really well.
Doodle. That's not it.
Basically, when somebody says something that you might
kiss something
disagree with.
Okay, say it again. Sorry.
It's another word for basically going, you're delusional. Wow. Doodle. Or doodle. How do you pronounce it?
Well, it's kind of like 6, 7, 8. Yes! That's what I was going for. You guys don't know. This is so great. Speaking of being culturally relevant, if anybody out there is under the age of probably 25, 6, 7, that's a cultural thing right now. And so the kids, the students and all that, it's from a rap song that you probably shouldn't ever listen to, but it went viral. The memes went everywhere. And all of a sudden kids don't even know what they're doing.
The memes.
Yeah, the memes. The memes, the peepees. What was that? PP? The students, the kids, they're all doing 6, 7. Most of them don't even know what they're doing because it really doesn't mean anything except for like, hey, 6, 7. But anytime now people see the numbers 6, 7 together, the kids go crazy. The students, the youth go crazy. And so there was a basketball player that was 6'7", and he did it in some meme, and it was from that song. And then all of a sudden it just took off. And so now everybody's like, hey, 6, 7, even though it literally doesn't have a meaning. It's just a fun cultural thing to do. So if you're around a bunch of kids, students, just be like, hey guys, what's up? 6, 7, and they'll be like, yeah, and they'll go crazy. So it's not in the dictionary, but just so you know.
But I'm going to just start rolling down my window and saying it to random teenagers. That's creepy. That's very creepy. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, but you should. Yeah. Hey guys, 6, 7. But the best is when you guys were quiet just then. That was the best. I was like 6, 7. And it was just silent. And I was like, this is awesome. People that
you guys are over 25.
You guys are older than 25. So,
but that's what I'm talking about. But here's the deal. So if you are older and everybody's doing that, you instantly think, okay, what's going on? What did I miss?
I felt that way a few years ago when sus started being said. That's so sus.
It's sus, like you're suspect.
Oh, I don't even get it.
It's sus. Yeah. And what was the game everybody was playing where you went around and you killed the other person and the little guy looks like a ghost? Anybody know what that game is called?
I don't know, but it was sus.
Pac-Man?
It was, what's that?
It's not Pac-Man. No. The little guy was eating pellets and eating ghosts.
That is true. That is a little older than this one. This was the one where you went and you would like...
Great guess.
Gosh. Leave a comment. I'm going to know later when I Google it, but it's kind of fun just to live in the wonder of not knowing what it is.
Just not know.
There was a game they all played together and they'd play it in groups and they would try to eliminate the other person. So, what is it? Among Us.
Among Us.
I knew Among Us was really big. And
thank you, Skylar, producer.
That's where the sus thing came from, I think.
Okay.
I think. Now, I'm sure.
But see, then there's a fear that is that bad? Is that good?
What's up, kids?
What's up, kids?
I'm thinking of that meme of the old guy with the skateboard in the school hall. Like, hey hair.
Yeah, he's sus.
What's up, kids?
He's totally sus.
No, the word for that is creepy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But I mean, and
of
shout
Kenn.
out to Colin in the booth. We had just a quick
Colin knows
acknowledgement.
everything we're talking about.
He does, but he's the youngest guy here. But also, big shout out. He got engaged. If you have not heard, he's the only one not married here, and now he's engaged. So
that's so good. He got
represent.
engaged. What was the date? Probably like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway,
But
like
he's
that.
the one who
September
started
6,
teaching
7.
me some words. We were at our little staff meeting for my group, and I said, so he picked the place. I'm like, well, how is it? And I said, it's good. And I said, how is yours? He goes, it's mid. And I was like, it's mid. Okay,
So it's not good, not bad. It's kind of middle of the road. Is that the idea?
Exactly. That's what he said. It's middle of the road.
mid.
It's not good, not bad.
I feel good. I know that.
Learning that, but here's the part
did it.
that our society is just going, man. I've got this phobia almost that if I don't know what's in the know and what's proper and what's not, there's this fear that I'm going to be offensive or canceled or everything is so this side or
Sensitive.
that side and so hypersensitive.
Yeah.
And even to the point, and we're not going to go into the details of it, where there's tragedies and people are literally like, if you don't believe this, I wish you weren't alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that intensity of it. And I feel like it's just really important and a really safe place to go, okay, how are we dealing with that?
Yeah.
And how are we looking at that? And I did a little bit of research, and here's a couple pieces of that opposite sides. Politics are probably the easiest way to look at it. Just there's Republican and Democrat and all this, and they did some research, and it was in the Friday update that my friend Mike Woodruff does. Look it up. He does a great job of saying, underline it, click, and it shows the full research. And they asked Democrats, how many Republicans do you think are rich? And there's like a lot of them. And they asked them, what percentage of Republicans do you think make over $250,000 a year? Guess what the Democrats who were interviewed, I think it was over 1,000 of them all over the country, said this percentage of Republicans makes over $250,000.
I don't even know where to guess.
6-7%.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know.
That was a great
I don't
call.
even know what number to go, but yeah.
40.
38% said
That's a good guess.
38% make over $250,000. You know what the reality is?
It's not that
1,
many.
2.
Yeah.
Okay.
2%.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're just like, that's it. And then they went totally on the other side. And it was that research. They said, okay, to Republicans, what percentage of Democrats are, gay, lesbian, transgender? And they just went through all the details of it. Gosh. And the Republicans, I said, well, I would say probably at least a fourth of them are.
25%.
And it's like 6% identify in one of those magic. Wow. And it's like, okay, we're stereotyping and then we're heaping on top of that. Well, this is what they believe. And they're all like this and they're all like that. And then
We're
it's
generalizing.
And just generalizing, stereotyping, it spins out of control.
Right. Yeah.
So then my question is, whether it's that or any other ones, how then shall we live and function in that? And I just want to come up with a couple key steps of, and we have not discussed this at all, but what do you feel like is the key to just living in that world without being offensive, but not denying the truth? And people are like, well, just love each other. And they're screaming, well, you're not loving, and you're not, if you loved, you would do this. If you loved, you would accept this. And it's like, okay, it just gets icky. Mm-hmm. But where are we supposed to be? Yeah. And how do we communicate that?
I love that, man. That's, and I think this is very timely, obviously, for everybody watching this. Maybe they're thinking through this whole thing. You're in your car driving or you're running on the treadmill and you're watching or listening. We don't talk about a lot of these things. We just kind of wait to get here and do it, to be perfectly honest. So a lot of times we're hearing things for the first time, just like you guys are, which I think is great. It lets us kind of say truly what's in here, not some made up, built up piece, right? So
a lot of what we do.
Yeah, on EDAB, we're not doing, this is not our test.
For this.
It's not our test. Yeah, we haven't, this is kind of where we feel on it right now. I would say there is this constant battle, at least inside the church from where I'm at and watching society, there's this constant battle of like truth up against grace, right? It's like, are we going to say what the truth is? Because this is what God's word says. And we're going to be like, this is where you need to be. or you're going to be so far over to where like, we're going to push all that aside. We have grace and we love you no matter what. Now, what's interesting about that, both of those are completely true and accurate.
Yes.
But they both have to operate at the same time with each other. Yep. One cannot be over the other. Now, I'm not saying
Great point.
that grace is higher than truth or truth is higher in importance than grace. I'm just saying as followers of Jesus, if you're watching and you are, and if not, and this is intriguing to you, man, please look more into who Jesus is and what he's done and read the red letters.
Let me pile onto that one second, because in the four guys, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John that walked with Jesus, right? John wrote this and it says, and Jesus came, God in the flesh. And if you never read your Bible, this is a really great point to start to validate that Jesus came in grace and truth. Mm-hmm. That's how he came. And he was the perfect example of that. Right. So unpack that a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay. So I love the fact that you brought up Jesus, so I'm going to do it, right? Like Jesus ate with sinners. He ate with people that blatantly were sinning and they weren't even turning away from their sin yet, right? And the religious leaders like, why is he doing that, right? So here's the truth people saying like, he can't be doing that.
Because that breaks the law.
That is not what you do. That is not truth. And the other people I'm sure that were sinners could look at him and be like, well, he's just, there's grace, and I guess he's given grace, and I guess truth is not important. And Jesus say, absolutely not. Like, when I show them grace, now I have a chance to let them experience truth, the real truth in that. And then many people, after seeing and meeting and hearing and talking to Jesus, their lives were changed forever.
So they could hear the truth. Now, let me throw the other way.
Okay. Yep.
How many of those sinners, he hung out with sinners. How many of you think saw him talking to the Pharisees, the truth people, and went, well, why is he with them?
Yeah, good point. We don't get to see that part a lot.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought he liked us.
Yeah.
No, he loves you, but he loves truth.
Yeah. It's a reminder, I guess, anytime we're looking at a person we hate or is not the same as us or whatever, if we could just get back into the mindset of like, man, we are made in God's image, right? And it's so easy to be like, oh, he loves the Republicans or he loves the Democrats. He loves America. He loves the people that believe what we do in the free world, right? And it's like, nope, sorry. Jesus pretty blatantly said that he came and because he loves the world. That means the people on the other side of the world, and I don't just mean Australia. I mean the people all over the world. Like he loves everybody that's in the world. And so if he loves them and we're supposed to be Christ-like, we should love them too. Now, I get that sometimes we don't like what people say and we don't like the stance they're taking on something. But I guess if I'm going to take this conversation in a little different angle, if we want to share Jesus with them, we got to be willing to listen to them. We got to be willing to actually sit down and break bread with them. We have to be okay that they don't believe what I believe. And let's flip it just like you did. We're hoping, our prayer is that they'll be okay that we don't believe the way that they believe. But we can still also have a conversation about our beliefs we have that are different in hopes that we're going to be praying for them. We're going to be showing love to them. They're going to be open to what we're talking about and not jump to just a conclusion of anger and turning into a different direction.
Yeah.
Now, it's easy for us to be like, we're Christians though. We love everybody. Well, first of all, I'd be like, do we? But also we got to realize they're coming from sometimes a background of hate or anger themselves.
There's a reason why they're there.
That's right. And we have to show that love, that grace, and that truth. It's like a juggling match, right? It's like, all right, we got to figure out how to keep everything right in front of everyone, because if Jesus is grace and truth and love, and he says that we're supposed to not only love believers, but love everybody, we better be doing that. We're not
So functionally, how do you show love, show grace, show truth to somebody that you know is not on the same page, or somebody you assume maybe is not in the same camp?
Right.
Or do you assume, and how do you function on that?
I think assuming is where such a big danger is in our current moment, this current time period in our culture. And I think you can get on X, for example, and
formerly Twitter.
Formerly Twitter. Yeah.
Thanks for the clarity.
Yeah,
of
you're
it.
welcome. That's not the dictionary.
Before you know it, you've gone down a rabbit hole of a fight here, a fight there, a yelling match here, a yelling match there. Look at what happened at this restaurant. Look at what happened on this street corner, and just all this chaos. And that stuff gets clicks and views and shares. And I'm reminded of something C.S. Lewis said, and it was about newspapers, but it's even more relevant today. He said the problem with the newspaper is it takes all of the world's problems and puts them at your doorstep. And now we've got that tenfold, 20-fold in our pockets, on our phones. We can see all of the world's problems, not just read about them, but watch them clipped up, chopped up, taken out of context.
And
we don't know what happened.
Possible.
And it's
Now
just
enter in AI and everything else, and it's like difficult to know what's even
seeing
real
is
and
no
true.
longer believing.
No,
you
not
could
anymore.
see, same example, a fight video that may be AI generated, and it's just making your blood boil.
Yeah.
And it may not even be real, and you don't even know it. So functionally is I would call it guard your gates.
Yeah.
And here's what I mean. Our eyes are like gates into our hearts, our minds, our souls. And we need to guard what we're seeing. We need to guard our ear gates, what we're listening to. And the more time I spend scrolling, it's called doom scrolling. Hey, there's a relevant term.
I want to tell you another quick term.
The more time I spend doom scrolling, the more I might go out into my community. I might go to Kroger or Walmart or wherever, and I might have just way too much cynicism seep into me, and I'm assuming the worst of everyone around me. I'm more fearful.
Yeah.
I'm more anxious.
Yeah.
And all these world problems that I see, real or unreal, let's assume what I'm seeing is real. It's awful. It's tragic. But the majority of the people in the world are not looking to carry out evil today.
And you said newspaper?
Yeah.
The newspaper gave you the bad stuff that's going on. Our algorithms and our social media keep feeding us the things it thinks we want to see. And so if we're seeing bad stuff, spoiler alert, it knows that. Twitter knows that. Instagram knows that. They're going to keep being like, this is what gets you to stay on us longer.
He slowed down on that video. He watched that video. Yes. So let's send another similar. Let's send another similar.
So now you think everybody believes the way you do. And you're like, no. They're just sending you videos that they know you're going to keep watching.
Their goal is your attention.
That's right. Yeah.
And it's divisive.
It's tough. It's a tough world.
When I spend time away from my phone, it just, the world feels better.
It's a peace you can't understand.
Yeah.
And you can interact with people and not even think about, I wonder if I agree or disagree with them.
Yeah.
And there's another term, it's called, and it's relatively new, digital fentanyl. And it's along the lines of doom scrolling, but that's the digital reference to TikTok right now.
Like it's an addiction?
They're just saying it's an addiction to keep watching because they keep feeding you that algorithm.
Stuff that is
it's digital fentanyl. I'm putting that fentanyl in and they're feeding it. And it's the drug. It's the new drug.
Golly.
But I've said, I love what you said. I've turned it off, put it down. The majority of people are not that way. Even the people who don't look or might feel like they're in that category, I've just decided I want to be proactive. And that's kind of my take on this. I want to be filling my mind, setting my mind on things above, on grace and truth, and finding that balance. And Lord, is this a more grace and truth time or more truth and grace time? And letting Him guide me. And I'm ultimately going to be respectful. I'm going to respect every person, whether I totally disagree or not. And I haven't had this yet, but I convinced myself it's going to happen. And that was worried about pronouns, worried about this or that. And one of the pieces in the military that I've just adopted is that I show everybody respect. Every person is my superior in some way.
Right.
So I'm going to approach it from that standpoint. And I use the terms, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, sir. No, ma'am. And at every age, just as a term of respect. And I think that heart comes through.
Yeah.
Because I've never had anybody go, well, I'm not, or whatever. But if they did, my apology would be, I'm so sorry. What's your name? And I don't care what they tell me. I'll just use your name. It's great to meet you.
Yeah.
And just reinforce. And I've started to stop worrying about anything at any moment could be offensive and divisive and tear it apart, and just be in love. And I want to be that grace and truth. I want to put Jesus' skin on and just go, Lord, you were in a time that dealt with that as well.
Yeah.
And
I think the phone piece, on that is like, if Proverbs really does tell us that, like, to guard your heart, because, it's this wellspring going out, and you're saying the guard, if you're guarding what's going in, sometimes this needs to go away. Right. But if we're going to follow the words of Jesus, as he tells us, what are the greatest commandments out of all these commandments and all these laws? What's the greatest one? And truly love God first, but the very one on the heels that Jesus never separated from loving God was loving your neighbor, loving others.
As yourself.
If we're going to do that, if we're going to love neighbors, you got to listen to them. You got to be places they're at. You got to not just be hermit in your car, in your house. You got to be out there, but you also have to listen to them. And a lot of times I think people are so known for just talk and not listen. And a lot of times those people that might not feel the same as we do, they just need somebody to listen to them for just a second. And then, of course, we would love for them to listen back. But sometimes maybe they just need that conversation I feel like you're talking about. Like, let's be real people and just show love by listening to them.
Yeah.
We're prayers that they'll show love and listen to us, but we don't have to walk away having convinced the other one that they're wrong. And they're wrong. That's where the issue and the fight comes back. It needs to be that sometimes it's okay to just walk away and let the other one kind of chew and think about what.
Let God use you. Yeah.
Right?
Your peace, not the solution.
Your goal, and he very blatantly lets us know we're not making a Christian and turning them into Christians. We're just sharing the good news. And then we can step away and let the Holy Spirit do his thing.
Yep.
But oftentimes before we ever gain the acceptance to be able to share that good news, we got to listen to the reality that's going on in their life. And so if we're not listening, we don't know how to prescribe to them, as a doctor would do to medicine, right?
Right.
We're not hearing the prescription they need. Now we know the prescription is always Jesus. But if we could listen to what they're going through, I bet we'd find that some deep rooted problems that are going on and disbeliefs and anger are the Holy Spirit, it's not in their life and in their hearts. And so our prayer would be that they would then want to step over that line of faith so that he could then heal everything that's going on.
Okay. So I'm going to get a little radical here, and then I want to hear your takeaway. And that is, it doesn't matter what side of what issue you're on.
Right.
I firmly believe that what you just said is true. And instead of approaching it and going, okay, do I have all my talking points and all my proof that this is truth and you're not living truth and you need truth in order to be, it's to say, okay, I'm going to listen with love.
Yeah.
And I'm going to realize there's something deeper here. There's a reason why whoever that other side is, there's a reason why they're there. And I don't feel like I need to give the prescription or there until I've let them identify that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And to just say, hey, I know we may not agree, but tell me why you feel
and
this.
you've earned the right to be able to talk to them about it because you're in a conversation.
So my big takeaway is just stop looking at us on different sides. And I want to get on that same side to bring them to truth or be a part of that process of truth. If that's the occasion. What's your takeaway or your real feel on this?
We still live in the same world that killed the only truly righteous man, Jesus Christ. The biggest unjust thing in the history of the world. A sinless man, a faultless man being brutally, brutally murdered. We still live in that world, and evil exists, and it's not going anywhere. It's out there. And what was one of the things that Jesus said on the cross to God the Father? Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do.
So you think there's still people that don't know what they're doing?
Yeah, I do. And I think as Christians, that's the mindset and that's the heart posture, is to be prayerful and considerate of who God is bringing into my path on a daily basis, and how can I put Jesus on display through my interaction with you. Even whether or not we get to talk specifically about Jesus, how can I meet you where you are? How can I have a kind interaction with you? How can I love you? How can I be real and honest and all of that still? And maybe a door could be open to share the truth with that individual. But we live in a world with people that believe all sorts of different things and have had things done to them and have done things. And there's no one, including us, that's never hurt or been hurt, right? Or hurt others or been hurt by others. And we all have been loved and have a desire to love others. That's in all of us. And so, Lord, bring people into my path that I can love well today and meet them where they are today. And if there's an opportunity, give me the boldness to say yes, to share the gospel and the love of Jesus with them, because it changes lives.
And even if it's a seed, it may just be kindness to somebody who's like, I didn't think someone like you would even want to talk to somebody like me. And that's the Jesus. Very good. A Jesus moment. How about you?
I guess my takeaway is in the culture that we're living, it's okay to disagree. And it has to
what a concept.
No, it's not.
It has to be.
Sorry.
Yeah, don't make me. It has to be okay to disagree, or society is just going to always beat each other down. But even though we disagree and it doesn't make it right, we still just need to approach every situation with love. If we're supposed to be the light of Jesus, we better be acting different, right? We better be looking different. We better be accepting different. And because we have the answer and they think different, that means they don't yet have the answer. So I think the phrase that Jerry Falwell made very clearly years ago, nothing of eternal significance happens apart from prayer. My takeaway is we got to be praying. Got to be praying for our nation. We got to be praying for the people we are going to come in contact with. Yeah. We got to be praying for believers all over the world that are enduring hardships and difficulties, that everyone would just see that the only thing that everyone truly needs 100% is Jesus.
Yep.
That's my takeaway. So.
Well, that's it. And how do we live that for others and live that in front of others? Great episode. Pass it on to some friends that need to find hope and just need to know, how do I deal with this? Because, man, I got to tell you, I love walking around, and I realize this may be my last day on the planet. Do I want it being frustrated and butting heads? Or do I want to leave, okay, you know what? If tomorrow I'm not here, then wow, I want to have some kind of path cross with somebody who needed to experience grace and truth.
Because you're not promised tomorrow.
But we know that
every day is a bonus.
We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Thanks, y'all.
Thanks for being here.